Well, hello again. I'm going to take the time today to make a quick little video about what is, in my opinion, one of the most overlooked video formats. Of course, lots of love gets given to the VHS. Who hasn't ever seen one of these in their lives? You know, they are just about the most common of cassettes you could imagine. I was born in '97, and even I grew up watching most of my stuff on VHS. As a matter of fact, on that very machine. It's a JVC Super VHS. Now, Betamax, for some reason, it really just didn't compete against the VHS too well. It was because it was an expensive format, and a lot of the film companies just didn't want to put their stuff on it because it cost them too much money, and so they went with JVC's VHS. And of course, more people bought the VHS to, get their favourite movies and such. While there were quite a few pre-recorded videos for Betamax, mostly corny horror movies, such as this one, which is a copy of The Brood. I think most people who bought Betamax were AV nerds who wanted the best quality to record from the television, and that's exactly what it did. Initially, the Betamax was a all-in-one unit. You had like a TV in it, and there was two tuners and a video machine in the corner. I'll cut in a picture of that in case you're wondering what that looks like. And then Sony decided that it would be a better idea if they were just to make the machine separate, so they could then people could then buy it to use of their existing televisions. They did license the Betamax to a few other companies, obviously Sanyo being one of them. This is a Sanyo VTC 5000, very common, very popular, and very nice little Betamax recorder. Admittedly not as well built as the Sony ones, but still does pretty well. This is what a Betamax tape looks like. I do have quite big hands, but they're about, just a little bit smaller than a VHS tape. For those of you who have never seen one, which is probably quite a few people if I'm honest, there's a VHS in comparison. It's just about the same in thickness, but very different in size. There's no way you could play a VHS on a Betamax machine, or the other way around. They do deliver a significantly better quality video than VHS, at least when they're new. I think it is the same amount of lines and everything, but I'm not quite sure what the science is, but Betamax is known for being a much better tape format than VHS. Of course, it was the successor to Sony's U-matic format, which mostly saw success in broadcasting. So of course this is a top-loading unit. You just stick your tape in there and turn the machine on. It will take up some of the slack. Clever, eh? Just have a look at the front here. You've got all of your typical VCR controls, your record, which you press record and play for, rewind, fast forward, play, stop and pause. Who hasn't seen those before? That's on here's your on button. That's to turn it on to standby. And then this timer button here, when you've got the timer set, which I haven't done yet, you've got your record timer. So the record start, let's just say we've got a recording on at 12 o'clock, and then perhaps the minute is 12:05, there you go. We want to stop it at, it's an hour program, there you go. Start recording then, oops, that's something else. Recording will start then, recording will stop. And you've also got the 8-day timer. So that's our first day programmed. You've got the second day, and go all the way up to 8 days in advance. Of course, this is all obsolete because I've got a PVR there, but I could use it for recording television if I wanted to, as long as I've got the digital decoder plugged in, because everything's all digital now. Looking at the back, you can see I've got a few converters, and that's because it uses B and C for the video signal and a mono-phono output for the audio, so I've had to buy a few converters for the input and the output. The input is my Freeview decoder stroke PVR, so if for some reason I didn't want to record to the hard drive, I could record to a Betamax tape. Alright, well, the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's stick this into play and have a look at a Betamax tape. It is very loud. They're a lot louder than VHS.
Drop that! It's silly. Very silly indeed. Started off as a nice little idea about old ladies attacking young men, but now it's just got silly. His hair's too long for a vicar, too. And you can tell those are not proper keep left signs. Ah, for a lot of you. You, come with me. Right. Now let's see something decent and military. Some precision drilling. Go on! Camp it up!
Who said her? Whoops! I've got your number, but you couldn't afford me, dear. 2, 3. I'll scratch your eyes out. Don't come to big a bit with us, dear. We all know where you've been, you military fairy. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoops! Don't look now, girls. The major just minced in that dolly color sergeant. 2, 3. Ooh!
Right, stop that. Silly. And a bit suspect, I think. Time for a cartoon.
This is a Monty Python's, and now for something completely different.
Who rule the land beyond the wobble. One day, he discovered a spot on his face. Foolishly, he ignored it, and 3 years later he died of cancer. The spot, however, flourished, and soon set out.
We can do the on-screen picture search, of course, and pause works rather well. Still a bit more of a stable pause than you sometimes get with VHS, but that's just my opinion. And of course, on-screen rewind. Well, there you go. Oh yeah, just if you're wondering what these are, for those of you that don't remember the days of analog TV broadcasting, these are redundant now, you don't really need to worry about them, but they are your TV channel selectors. Up to 8 channels. And you tune these channels by sacrificing your nails to these tiny little adjustment things, which are literally the worst thing in the world. Trust me, I am so glad I don't have to use those. But yeah, this machine does work pretty well. It probably could benefit from a head clean. And sometimes, I don't know, maybe a once over someday, but it's not enough to call for a complete service. It is in nice working order, so I'm just going to leave it for the moment. But yeah, I'll show you something that unfortunate that happened. I got this tape. Sinclair's ZX Spectrum Introduction to Programming, but unfortunately the tape has gone mouldy, and the second I tried to put it in this machine so I could attempt to clean it when it's in fast forward, the leader broke. So yeah, I'm beginning to wonder if it's even worth attempting with that tape. That's a shame, but there is a copy of it on YouTube if you want to watch it. Just type in Masterclass Sinclair ZX Spectrum Introduction to Programming. There you go, and we can also have a look at the different names they gave for different times. There you go. And do you know what? Betamax tapes have been in manufacture up until March of this year, because it was still used in the professional field. So you can technically still buy relatively new old stock of Betamax tapes, which I might do, because trying to record on these 30-year-old tapes doesn't exactly deliver desirable results. But there you go, Sony at their money-grabbing finest. But yeah, for those of you who haven't seen this tape format before, it really is a neat little, neat little video format. Nobody loves video recorders anymore. All the hipsters love their audio cassettes and vinyl, and sometimes even Laserdisc. But yeah, the video machine doesn't really seem to get any attention anymore. I think that's quite a shame, because they really are quite likeable little machines, whether they're VHS, Sony U-Matic, or Betamax, or even the Quadruplex machine. But yeah, there you go. I hope you had enjoyed this little look at one of the perhaps lesser known video formats. which is now famous for being a failure, but you know, I still really like it. Great quality, nice compact cassettes, and the machines are just, well, look how huge these things are. As a matter of fact, I did have to do some emergency rearranging because I wasn't expecting it to be this large. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.